Welcome back. You're watching the Morning, Noon, and Night Show, and Eric and I are so excited to welcome Janice Hoffman to the set. Relationship Rules. How are you, Janice?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Well, I don't think Eric really needs any of this, but apparently he's the pro of relationships.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the yawn trick there?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
His wife thought it was hysterical, so he married the right woman over there. So tell us, you wrote this book, Relationship Rules, as I was reminding everyone you were on this winter with us.
That's right.
And found out a little bit about your book, but tell us a little overview.
It's a book of 12 relationship rules for men and women to practice in a monogamous relationship. And the same things don't work for women that work for men. If a man sees that a woman's upset and he thinks, well, if I'm upset, I'd rather be left alone, I'll leave her alone, that's the last thing she wants. She wants to be asked lots of questions and show interest, and then when she feels safe, she'll open up and start talking. But in a man's world, that would just make him miserable again. Think about the problem.
He asks and then you tell him, then a lot of times they get mad at you by what you say.
Right. Well, if they say, are you upset? And you say yes, and that's a clue in a man's world to leave you alone. So he walks out the door and you think, I just told you I was upset. Where are you going?
So is that how it works in your house?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay.
And then the longer you stay gone...
Like to talk it out more, and some people who don't. We're actually one of the families who likes to talk it out. Is that always the better option?
If you can talk it out in a healthy way without arguing or blaming or getting defensive. A lot of times people will get defensive because they think that they're blaming them for the problem as opposed to taking responsibility for their own upsetness.
Right, or sometimes you answer the question and they just assume you're blaming them when it really has nothing to do with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there are all different kinds of ways that we can work around this, and your book helps us deal with them.
And that's one of the things a man can say. You can say, is this about me, or do you just need me to listen? Because when he does that, that gives him a job description. And a man loves a job description because then he knows what to do, right?
You're totally right.
I think I'm more manly in all these rules.
You love a job description?
Yeah, and I know what I need to do, and I can move on.
Now, go on, please.
Well, if he doesn't know what the job description is, he might try and fix her problem. And many times a woman just needs to talk. It's as if the words have to physically pass through her mouth to the outside for her to relieve the stress, whereas a man can just disassociate because of our brain chemistry, and he can disassociate from the problem, go do something else, and come back, and the problem's lessens. It doesn't have the charge it did before.
Gotcha.
Now, we do like to fix problems. If I can speak for the male generation here on the set, we do like to fix the problems. But like you say, it's important just to be there for the person. Presence, I've heard, is one of the most important things. Would you find that to be true?
Well, you have to be there in a sincere way. You can't be there watching TV and kind of listening, or be on the computer and kind of listening. And you see that commercial where the woman comes in and says, "Does this make me look fat?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure," because he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So you have to sincerely listen. But if you try and fix her, things could get worse, because if she's already feeling bad, if she's already stressed out, and then you try and fix her problem and all she really wants you to do is listen, she might now she's upset with you in addition to whoever else she's upset with. So she's even more upset than she was before you walked in the room and asked her what was wrong.
Right. Okay.
Now, how did you get into this field? I mean, is this your primary field of study, or is this just something that interests you?
No, I've been working with John Gray, the author of the Mars-Venus books, for about 10 years now, and speak and write and coach people on their relationships, all based on the Mars-Venus material. So my book is very, very immersed in the Mars-Venus principles and philosophy.
And go over that just briefly. Mars-Venus, I mean...
It's as if men and women are from different planets.
Okay.
If Jennifer was upset and I said, what's wrong? And she says, I'm really upset about my husband. And did you get married yet?
I did get married.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm really upset, my husband wouldn't talk to me this morning. And I said, oh, well, guess what's going on in my world? I did this. She would feel like I didn't care. If I didn't ask her a lot of questions and say, well, what's going on, and what did he do, what did he say, and then what happened, that shows interest that I care. In a man's world, if you start asking a lot of questions, it's as if you don't trust him. It's like, what's with the Inquisition? Why all the questions? Don't you trust me to get this problem handled?
Isn't that interesting? Do you guys get that at your house? Kim, why are you asking me so many questions? I don't think you do that to her.
No, not really.
Right.
I don't know. I think we just have different relationships. She's the tough one. I think we switch roles.
Yeah.
I don't want to call myself the girl in the relationship, but yeah.
Well, we all have a male and a female side, and sometimes we're on a male side, sometimes we're on a female side. When we're nurturing and we're caring for children and being loving, we're very much on our feminine side, and when we're fixing something or trying to solve a problem, we're very much on our male side. And so it's not that you're more female and she's more male. You just might be more on your female side more often.
In the relationship.
Yeah,
in the relationship.
Right,
Or when you're around your wife.
Yeah.
So now, are you doing groups, working with groups of couples, or one-on-one more? Or how does it work?
Mostly one-on-one, and a lot of speaking and
And I know sometimes they say that at some point you've just gone too far. There's no repairing the relationship. When do you think people should go ahead and say, you know what, it's time to talk to someone? Because I think a lot of couples certainly wait and they say, no, it's not bad enough for us to talk to someone. And then another couple nights goes by and we have another argument and it's another month and it's another 4 months and things are getting more and more and more stressful. I mean, should you just go talk to someone right off the bat and try and work it out before anything escalates?
I think if the problem relates to communication, if it relates to a lack of attraction, then it's fixable. If it involves cheating, if it involves abuse or anything like that,
Right, it's a whole other ballgame.
that's a whole other ballgame.
Okay.
But the couples that come to me, typically they'll say, well, I'm not as attracted to my partner as I was before. And it's because if it's the wife saying that, typically it's because he stopped doing the little things that he did in their courtship. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like men are hunters. They hunt, they find the woman, they lasso her, they put a ring on her. You know, they don't have to do the little things they did in order to get her the way they did in the beginning.
Right.
And it's the little things that attracted her to him to begin with.
Sure.
So if he stops doing the little things,
It's all those little foot rubs.
the attraction just lessens and lessens and lessens, and then they'll say, well, we just grew apart, or the spark is gone, and there's many ways to reignite that spark. Many ways.
My wife has told me that women like to be pursued, and
Oh,
that
yes.
doesn't stop with marriage.
Absolutely.
I have to continually pursue her. She tells me that as my
Absolutely.
advice, and I think it's a blast. You know, you get to do the little things. I don't think, you get to stop those little things when you get married. The better part is you get to continue to do those little things for your spouse and your best friend. I mean, I think it makes it more fun.
Yeah, I would think so. That sounds great.
Well, and you both benefit. You benefit by feeling good about doing something special for your wife, and she benefits by receiving the gift that you're giving her, whatever
and my
the
guess
action
is she's
is.
doing things for you too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
bet.
Some women will even hide when they know their partner's home. They'll go in the bedroom, or they'll find some place in the house just to see if he'll find her. Because if he comes home and just starts doing his thing, it's like, well, you don't even want to
No, if
say
I'm
hi,
here.
give me
Right.
a kiss.
You
know,
saw the
you're
car
home.
when you pulled
No,
in.
hey,
Right.
we do the old Ricky Ricardo. I'm home. As soon as we get there, and you got to
Nice.
call out, and then
All right,
Yeah,
now-
and you score points every time you do.
Now we're almost out of time, but I want to touch on something real quickly before we do. Positive parents, cooperative children.
Yes.
That's just the way it goes.
Yes.
No more need to be said there.
Parenting's an interesting thing because we don't get any training, we don't get any education around
That's
training.
my favorite. Got to have a
Yes.
license to
I
kill an
know, I was
animal,
thinking about
drive a car, do all that. Parenting, just pop them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then, I mean, I caught myself when my kids were little one time saying, stop it, you're acting like children. You know, and then thinking, oh my God, well, they are children.
They
you know?
are children.
We expect our children to behave a certain way, and there's ways to elicit that behavior. You don't always have to just, don't do this, and, you know, it's not boot camp.
Janice, we're going to have you come back. We have so much more to talk to you about in the future.
Good.
But,
I love it.
All right.
if we're looking at it for now, can we say, we have to break away now, but if we want to get more information, your website.
Go to my website,
And then-
www.relationshiprules.com, or you can call 303-604-2222.
Great. Janice Hoffman, thanks so much for coming in and visiting with us today up in the Vail Valley. She's based out of Boulder, and you can check her out at www.relationshiprules.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Morning Noon and Night Show in just a moment.